everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different than my normal daily vlogs. I'm going to be telling you my top 10 books to create a better mindset and just really resourceful books that I've found really helpful for me. So I just wanted to share them with you. Okay, let's get started. So this first one is called Think and Grow Rich. This book is very valuable. It has tips of how to set goals in terms of making money that will help you think and grow rich. So that's number one. Number two is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. By the way, I'm going to be linking all the books down below. I guess you could say logical approach to emotional relationships, I would say. This says fundamental techniques in handling people. Principle number one is don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Principle number two is give honest and sincere appreciation. And principle number three is arouse in the other person and eager to want. So of course this book will go into more detail about how to do those things. It also talks about 6 ways to make people like you. Principle number one, become genuinely interested in other people. 2, smile. 3 is remember that a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language, which is really true actually. If you notice that when you're talking to someone, for instance, if I'm serving in the restaurant and I figure out someone's name, if I use that person's name throughout the service, throughout their meal, they're way more likely to respond way nicer to me, to tip me well, and to just smile more and just be more polite. So definitely agree with that one. Principle number 4 is be a good listener. Encourage people to talk about themselves. People love talking about themselves, of course. Principle number 5 is talk in terms of the other person's interest. A lot of the time we get caught up in ourselves and we talk about things that only interest us. And then the last one is make the other person feel important. You have to be sincere. You can't just like fake these things or else people are going to be able to see that and they're not really going to appreciate you as a person. So this is just kind of a book to read to kind of tap into those key points and realize what people are really interested in terms of like getting to know you and creating that relationship, whether it be work or personal or whatever. So that's number 2. Number 3 is The Power of Now. This was written by Eckhart Tolle. I don't really know how to say it. I had this book recommended to me. It is all about living in the now. If you're living in the past, you are maybe full of sadness, regret, thinking that you could have done things differently, or regretting certain decisions, being unhappy about certain events or situations that you've been in the past, and thinking about those things doesn't really make you happy. And if you're living in the future, you have anxiety, it's kind of the unknown, there's nothing that you can really do about whatever it may be that you're thinking about in the future. So it basically just teaches you how to be present in everyday situations, how to be mindful, how to just really appreciate the here and now. And I found that I really got a lot of it at this book. So definitely recommended. It's amazing if you are struggling with anxiety or depression, so definitely read this one. So the next is a series by Don Miguel Ruiz. I don't know. I've always had a speech impediment with my R's, so sometimes it's hard for me to pronounce certain names. I had to go to like speech therapy and stuff like that in grade 4. Super embarrassing. Anyways, we have the Voice of Knowledge, we have the 4 Agreements, and we have the Mastery of Love. The 4 agreements that he talks about in this book are: be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, always do your best, and don't make assumptions. This is definitely a series that I'm going to be going back to for sure. The next book that I'm going to recommend was written by Cameron Diaz. It's called The Body Book. This is a really, really amazing tool for any young woman. It also has some sexual education. It has stuff about digestive health, so dieting. It talks about exercise, and it's just a really empowering book for women to read, to really understand their bodies better. I found this really helpful and interesting, and I know that you will too, so this is definitely a recommendation from me. This next one is a very special book to me because it was written by a woman who has inspired me for the past 3 years. Her name is Ikonns, and she wrote a book. So this is called The Bingo Theory. This is about relationships and the study of masculine and feminine energy. And a man can be more feminine and a woman can be more masculine, and this book just really talks about those kind of traits. Masculine energy is logical, confident, competitive, strong, and independent, whereas feminine energy is emotional, intuitive, free-spirited, expressive, and open. So anyone can be a mixture of these things. Obviously, we are all, as humans, both masculine and feminine, but one side may be stronger than the other. I know personally I'm a more feminine energy female, so I tend to go based on emotions and be very vulnerable. I know that I definitely want to be a little bit more assertive, more confident, and more direct in certain aspects of my life, and I know that comes along with tuning into that masculine energy that I have. So this book just helps you along on that journey and kind of opens your eyes to how you are internally. So I find that very interesting. I'm gonna link her YouTube down below. She did a talk in Toronto that I went to go see, so I'll link that vlog as well. She's definitely an influencer that I would definitely recommend you check out along with this book. So the next 2 books that I'm going to talk to you about are by the same author, and it goes along with that whole masculine, feminine energy type of information gathering. These are 2 opposite books, but they're written by the same person. So this one is called The 48 Laws of Power, and this one is called The Art of Seduction. So of course, this is the more masculine side and this is the more feminine side. Both these books have been really cool to read, to be honest. They're hard to read, I'm not gonna lie. They're really hard to read, so I normally only get through like a chapter at a time. So this one talks about powerful people in history that have used certain techniques to kind of gain that status and that power and what sort of mentality they had, whereas this one talks about influential women in the world, even some men as well, that just have this really like seductive, intuitive, powerful sense of themselves, different ways that people have attained success in the world. I find it very fascinating, and as kind of like weird as the title is and the idea of it is, I think that it's really eye-opening and interesting, so I wanted to just recommend those 2 to you. The very last one I have for you is something that I have read most recently. This is called The 4-Hour Workweek. It is written by Timothy Ferriss, and it is basically how to escape the 9-to-5, live anywhere, and join the new rich. So this is for any entrepreneur who's looking to start their own business, looking to kind of gain that freedom from a typical 9-to-5 job and really explore different options for lifestyle. That's something that's been really important to me lately. Honestly, I haven't been feeling as confident in my career path that I've chosen, so this has come at an opportune moment for me. I'm really grateful to have read this book. So that's it for my top 10 books. It was technically 11, well actually technically 13, however the 48 Laws of Power and the Art of Seduction I consider to be one, as well as the Mastery of Love, the 4 Agreements, and the other one. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's something different than what I have been doing as of late, but it's something that I thought was important because all of these books have made a huge impact in my life, and I just feel strongly about self-development and reading and learning and growing, and I just wanted to share with you some of the tools that I've used myself and that I can stand behind. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate your support. Everything you do on my page means the world to me, whether it be a subscription or just a like or a comment. Yeah, so stay tuned. I have more videos on the way and a lot of exciting stuff coming up for me that I would love to share with you guys. Once again, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you guys have an amazing day and that you have a chance to take a look at some of these books. They are all linked below in the description box. Thank you very much and have a good one. Bye guys.